What is up, YouTube? Continuing on my Learning Python series. So, I guess it'll be part of this project. I'll create a new file. Today, we're going to be learning about variables. So, let's make a thing called variables. Awesome. Now, there are a lot of variables. Variables, such as in math, maintain a value that has to be specified at some point. There are many types of variables you can have, many data types. In this case, we're going to go over a lot of the essentials, and in the link below, I will include the types of data in Python, because some coding languages have a different amount of types that represent different things. In this case, we'll be learning about Booleans, we'll learn about integers, we'll learn about strings, and we'll learn about float. So right here, these are the four important variables we want to learn. So now, a Boolean. A Boolean in computer science, just like a bool, is something that can be proved true or false. This is a very critical thing to know that it is either true or false. It cannot be both, it cannot be none, it has to be true or false. So whenever you create a variable, the first thing you have to do is specify the name of a variable. Now, a variable name has to start with, it should start with a letter, and if you want numbers in there, the numbers can be any character but the first, is normally my rule of thumb. You can also use underscores in your variable. I do not believe you can use the plus sign, the asterisk, and a couple other of the more complicated characters. But for now, let's say you can have a variable x. But in this case, I'm going to make this name true or false. Now, also to remember, you cannot use keywords in the name of a variable, unless there is no space. So, for example, if I put true underscore false equals, that would work. Even though true and false are keywords, because they're capitalized, that treats them even more as a keyword. But the underscore then connects it, which means it's not valued as a keyword anymore. So as long as it's tied to something, you don't have to worry about it. So in this case, as I was saying, we are initiating a Boolean value. The Boolean value we initiate, let's say this one will be true. Sorry, this one will be false. This one will be true. You'll notice that the capitals are a little bit, the colors are changed, definitely. It represents that these are the keywords, these are a value. So now we just have a value for those. Later lessons you'll realize what this is good for, but right now it's understanding what we want to create a value to hold stuff. So those are Boolean values. The next ones are integers. Integers are extremely useful. People do math with them. For now, let's pick the most common math variable, which is x. And let's set the value to 10 for now. Let's create a new value. Y equals 8. Both of these are integers. If you don't know what integers are, they are numbers they're whole numbers, and they can be positive or negative, is the bottom line of what integers are. So no decimals, but they can be positive or negative. Anyway, so what you can do with mathematical integers is you can have a third variable, let's say it's z, equals, and now you can make it a combination of x plus y. Now, what you've noticed so far, what I've done here is you always, when you're talking about a variable and you're updating its value, you must start the sentence or start the statement, the line, with the name of the variable. So integers you can add them together and you can do a few things. The next video is going to be mathematical operators. If you are interested in learning what you can do with integers, adding them, subtracting them, and all that business, check out the next video, number 3. But for now, we're going to move on. The next kind is a string. So let's go with name equals, and for a string, you must have quotation marks to specify that it is a string. Let's say my name is Lucky. Okay, so there we have it. We have a variable that is a string. You can also have last name equals, I don't know, last name. You can have this. now what's important to look at is that we can add these two together. So if we did full name equals name plus last name, we should be able to, actually we should run this program, print full name. Not what I meant to do, but okay, I'll take it. Let's run it. And here, oh, are we still running that? We want to run this. Okay, never mind, we have to click here, and why are we not running it? Let's run variables. Lucky, and then last name. See, we literally just added them together, but because it's a plus sign, there's no space. If I wanted to add a space there, I should just manually put in a space. There we have it. You could also, if you wanted a space there, you could do that plus blank space plus, I need to put in the quotation mark. Voila, and if I run it, it will work perfectly. So that is kind of the operations you can do with strings. There will be more later. These are just a general introduction to the types of variables. And now the other one's a float. Float handles all the numbers, all the floating point numbers, equivalent to C doubles, which basically means that it will cover a lot of your decimal numbers. So if you ended up doing, this will end up being a float. V equals 8 divided by 3. 3. It does not go 3 does not go wholly into 8, and therefore will come out as a float. If integers, you do division or something with integers, and they end up with a decimal, they transform into a float. So those are our data types. Those are what you can do with them. Yeah, that's about it. For the most part, that's all you really need to know. Keep track of future videos. You'll learn more. Right now, this is the basic introduction of what each of these does. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.